Okay, so I said I would vlog again, and here I am, vlogging again. I just, as Sally and I like to say, got a little more lorazepam, so I'm a drunk girl with floppy poodle hair. Ah! Um, there's a story that I've been wanting to tell, everybody that was super duper cool, and then I might read a couple of inspirational quotes just because I'm trying to do positive vlogs to start off. Floppy hair problems. Like you guys care. We've got such worse problems than floppy hair problems, but here I am all lorazepammed. Because lorazepammed is a way to be. And worrying about my floppy hair. Ridiculous. What we choose to focus on instead of acknowledging our real problems. Anyway, this really cool thing happened. For some of you that I text, one day I sent a picture of this beautiful monarch butterfly. I have a butterfly bush in my front yard, and as of lately, I've really only been able to often make it to my deck on many days. That's about as far into the world as I make it. And that's where I took the video of my friend Worm, who now made a chrysalis under our deck. And so I hope everything goes well for Worm during his resting period. But there was a day I sent a picture of this beautiful, beautiful monarch butterfly that was on our butterfly bush. And she was flying around my yard all loopy-doops. And she was really brave because she really wanted the nectar of the butterfly bush so badly that she'd let me come very, very, very close to take photographs. And all monarchs are beautiful. I like butterflies, and I'm fascinated by them, and dragonflies. And anyway, the thing that I found the most touching was one of her wings was pretty severely damaged. The bottom, like, sort of end was sort of withered, and it hadn't dried out right when she'd left her chrysalis. So, she was born with a disability, or reborn. And yet she was flying all over the place, and was the most beautiful thing. She had a wingspan of like 5 inches, huge, beautiful, fearless, but damaged. So I was very touched, actually. I felt like it was a good metaphor for a lot of us, that she just kept going and was trying to be happy and really enjoying her butterfly bush and enjoying her wings, even though she had a problem with them. So I thought that was beautiful. So on the same day, later in the evening, about 6 in the evening, I went back out to the deck, and I noticed some like movement overhead. And I looked up, and it was one of the most surreal things ever. It was a dragonfly swarm. And at about 6 p.m., there were about 100 of them over my deck. And at first, they were so big and moving so quickly that I thought, oh my gosh, are those hummingbirds? And then when I got sort of a better look, I realized they were dragonflies. I rolled in my wheelchair, I used it as a walker, down our front sidewalk to see if maybe the dragonflies were all over the neighborhood. Nope, they were just at our house. And it was crazy because the swarm, when I was on the deck, the swarm was about 15 feet over my head. And they would go in circles and little figure eights. And when I moved down the sidewalk, they followed me. So I was like at the epicenter of their little swirly-do. And so they were going in circles, but there were groups of like 6 or 8 doing figure eights. Anyway, it was just fascinating. And I had never seen anything like it before. I am into dragonflies. I've read up on dragonflies. I have 3 tattooed on my foot that have great meaning to me, and maybe I'll tell you about it here in a second. But anyway, I thought it was fascinating that the swarm would follow me. And then when I went back up to the deck, I continued to watch. And over the period of an hour, like pretty quickly, the group dwindled down to probably about 50 dragonflies. And then at the end, at 7 o'clock, well, at 6:45 there were probably 25 dragonflies, and at 7 o'clock there were probably 10, and that's when I went back inside because I was just exhausted and needed to get in bed. But it was just so exciting to see them all. And I texted my friend T. I think I even called her and said, "Look, I'm really autistic today. I'm not up for a phone call, but I have to tell you this. I'm like on the edge of tears. This is so surreal." To be witnessing. It's so beautiful, and I think it must be rare. And she immediately got on the internet, and it is a rarity, dragonfly swarms. And she found this cool thing where an entomologist had witnessed a dragonfly swarm, like 3 years ago, and had never seen anything like it. So she set up a website where you can go and report your own findings of dragonfly swarms, because they are rare. It is rare to see more than 10 together and away from a massive body of water. And so the website is www.the-dragonfly-swarm-project. And you can go and read about other dragonfly swarms and how they're rare, and if you happen to witness one, put your input in. I haven't done it yet, but I've gone to the site and read. I just haven't taken the dragonfly survey. But I just thought, gosh, so beautiful. So I got the butterfly and the dragonflies in the same day, and it just was so beautiful, and it was so good to be reminded that there are many beautiful things in the world that you don't even have to leave your front porch to witness. And there are many beautiful things in the world you don't have to leave your bedroom to witness, but that wasn't supposed to be dirty. But I just thought the dragonfly swarm was super awesome. When they finally, I tried to get them on film. I don't know if I've already said that, but they were moving so quickly that we'll have to take some time and try to edit it and slow the few ones we got on film down so that you can actually see them. But a few finally came low enough that I was able to distinguish that I don't know what they're called or anything like that, but they were purple. They were like this beautiful iridescent, like deep, deep purple color, which I thought was so neat. On my foot, I have 3 dragonflies, and it was because I was reading up on dragonflies and the symbolism for dragonflies. When you read about symbolism, you read the Celtic symbolism and the Native American symbolism, and every different culture has symbols for everything. But when I was reading about dragonflies, in terms of what entomologists study, they had found a certain group of dragonflies. And the dragonfly, females are born blue and males are born green. And dragonfly sexuality is very violent for females. Not exactly dragonfly voluntary, I guess you would say. And they were finding, when they studied this group of dragonflies, they'd studied several generations of this particular swarm and grouping. And after a couple of years, some of the females that were born blue were turning themselves green. They could find no genetic reasoning behind it. They're still studying to find out, but they believe that it's that they are so deeply determined to not be in the dragonfly sexual culture that they will turn themselves a different color. They'll turn themselves green, which is what the color of the males is, so that the males will leave them alone because they think they're boys. So I have a series of 3 dragonflies on my left foot, and they go from blue to purple to green, ascending up towards my ankle, um, to sort of symbolize being a survivor. Um, for me, it is sort of a literal translation. I am a rape survivor, but more than that, it just can mean survivor. Um, so I'm into dragonflies, and I'm into reading them. And then when they appeared over my head, I thought, oh my God, God is with me and sending a message that I shouldn't give up, because we all have days where it's like, I don't know, the next time I go down and I'm paralyzed and I can't talk, like, you think scary thoughts sometimes. And while it is simultaneously scary to think about dying on those days, it is also scary to think about living on those days. So getting these beautiful messages about how life is so beautiful and gorgeous things happen, and you do want to stay here as long as you're supposed to be here. It was just such a huge gift, and like an episode of The Ghost Whisperer, which was so cool. I'm way over my time because I was going to read some inspirational quotes that people have been sending me. Very kind people who are in touch with me, but I think I'm going to leave this be for now and let it be the dragonfly survivor story and the beautiful dragonfly swarm. And like I said, maybe I'll put, like in the little notey thing, I'll put the link to the Dragonfly Swarm project for the Dragonfly Woman so you can check it out yourself. And eventually, hopefully, we'll be able to edit down that film so you can see my beautiful dragonfly swarm. Okay, you guys take care. I promise, well, I shouldn't promise because I don't know what I'll do, but I think this is my last vlog, at least for the day, but I'm just so thrilled to have Wi-Fi in the house, and I'll upload this and then keep watching your guys' posts that I have missed from the past, and watch my guilty pleasure beauty vlogs and craft vlogs. I'm so excited. To all the beauty vloggers and craft vloggers out there, I'm coming for ya. We'll be praying for you all, little dragonflies, and we'll all speak soon.